What is a musical mantra? It's a question I get asked quite a bit, and it's a big foundational piece of the music and energy healing work that I do. So I thought I would kind of dive into it a little bit and maybe perhaps provide some clarity and some steps on how you can utilize this music to help you to heal your life, awaken, ultimately to manifest the life of your dreams. So it goes way back when, actually quite a bit of time now, and how it kind of originated, this whole idea of creating a musical mantra, was I was sitting in the office with Dr. Jones. He was the former top consultant from NASA that discovered the healing energy in my music. And he had asked me, Mark, what do you think is the most powerful energy disruptor in the universe? And up to this point in time, we were primarily talking about chemicals in our air, food, and water, EMFs from our technology, the negative effects these things had upon the body's energy field, and how they felt it was the root cause of all the disharmony that we were experiencing in our lives. So when he asked me that question, I'm thinking, it's got to be something like radiation, something, like that. But his answer changed my life and ultimately changed how it is that I did my work with music and energy healing work, and ultimately opened the door for giving birth to the musical mantra. And his answer was this. He said, the most powerful energy disruptor in the universe are our own limiting thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions. And I was intrigued by this. He said, our limiting thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions shape and shift our experience. They shape and shift our health, our well-being. They shape and shift our relationships. They shape and shift the amount of prosperity that we can open up to. They shape and shift how we express ourselves through our careers, the amount of joy and fulfillment that we can experience in our lives. He said, until those things change, until they're released, until they're dissipated, they will continue to shape and shift our experience. So I was intrigued. So out of that conversation, I'm thinking, you know what? If this music can null and void the energy disruptors in our environment, maybe it could null and void the energy disruptors that exist between our ears. And we all have them to one degree or another. And so I'm doing a relationship session with a young lady who was having relationship challenges. Very common issue over the last 10 years, had just created a series of dysfunctional relationships. No matter what she did, she couldn't change it. And that's because she was taking all this action outside of her. But change doesn't happen out there. It happens within. So we're having this conversation, and I'm hearing resentment. Why is she broadcasting resentment? I could literally pick it up. And so I started asking questions. And it ended up that she had had a very dysfunctional relationship with her father. They hadn't really spoken over the last 10 years. And so I asked the question, I said, are you open to forgiving your father? She said, yes. And I said, I'm just going to play a piece of music on forgiveness. So I set the intention to play forgiveness music. And it's almost like the guitar played me. Out comes a piece of music. I'd never played it before. I recorded it. I sent it to her. I said, play this in your environment as much as you can, and let's just see what happens. 3 days later, she calls me up. Oh my God, Mark, you're not going to believe this. I said, what's up? My father called me today out of the blue. He said, are you open to sitting down and talking about reconciliation and forgiveness? She goes, you don't get it, man. My dad's like macho man, dude. He would never do anything like that. And I just took a deep breath and I realized, you know what? The sooner that we realize everything that outwardly pictures in our lives, whether it be relationship, whether it be challenges in our prosperity or in our health, are all outward manifestations of the energy, of the state of being that we hold within ourselves. And if we have these old unresolved issues, resentments, and things that we hold inside to one degree or another, they're going to continue to shape and shift our experiences in life. So ultimately, she was able to create this opportunity to heal what needed to be healed in order for her to create that relationship. So out of that experience, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm onto something here. So I literally started creating these musical mantra pieces. Never played before, set the intention, out comes the piece of music, I recorded it. It becomes part of some of my most popular series, the Harmonized Your Life series, the Unlimited Prosperity series, and it's a foundational piece in all the healing work that I do. I mean, who knew? And they weren't originally called musical mantras. Here's a little funny side note. They used to call them musical prescriptions because I would put prescriptions. I would put different musical pieces together to support a person I was doing a healing session with, depending on what they need. Oh, this person needs confidence. This person needs to love themselves more. This person needs to forgive. And I got this email from a doctor, only doctors can prescribe. And I'm like, oh man, okay, I don't really want to be tied to that energy anyway. So I redefined them as musical mantras. And these are pieces of music that can help you to shift your state of being, to let go of what's no longer serving you, but ultimately also to bring in what it is that's going to support you to lift your life to new heights. So I go all the way back to my first mantra piece. Forgiveness. So I asked, maybe perhaps you have somebody you're holding resentments against. To set the intention to let it go, which is the first step to letting go of what's no longer serving you. And then just breathe in the notes. Little musical mantra for forgiveness. And so that's where the journey began and really gave birth to this whole new way of expressing this gift, expressing this healing modality that could help you, that could help others to shape and shift your life. All change comes from within. We must literally change our energy, our frequency, our state of being in order to change what gets reflected back to us in our lives, whether it be through our bodies, whether it be through our relationships, whether it be through our careers, whether it be through the amount of prosperity that we can open up into our lives. If you're experiencing a challenge in any of those facets, it just means you're holding on to an old belief structure. But with your intention, setting the intention to let it go and to release it, with your willingness to change, playing the music in the environment, and then taking the action steps that show up, taking up the guidance, the direction that leads you to different steps that you need to take. Through that masterful combination, I've seen people have tremendous transformation and healings in their lives. So that's what the musical mantra is all about, and beautiful pieces of music. So if you haven't, I invite you to go check out my YouTube channel. You might be watching this on YouTube, but there's always a piece of music that will be in the same week associated with a particular theme, all of them masterfully designed to help you to accomplish, I believe, are the three most important steps to not only transforming our lives, but changing the world that we live in. First thing, one, got to heal your life. Number two, you have to awaken to your magnificence, your unlimited potential, your essence, your awesomeness. And number three, it's about orchestrating. It's about learning how to orchestrate matter and energy to create what it is that you desire to create, and then ultimately to come collectively together to recreate a world that works, to create a world of harmony, love, compassion. That's what's going to create change, not only in our lives, but in this most magnificent world around us. So there you go, a little insight on the musical mantra and how it can support you to tune the strings of your life experience so that you can bring your music, your authentic self, your passion, your purpose out to a higher level. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. Have a harmonious day.